So what has your journey of like overcoming burnout been like?
I think for me it's like actually taking the time to just stop and realize what's actually burning me out.
Yeah.
Whether it's work or emotional burnout.
Yeah.
And it's actually just taking time for myself, and I found doing a lot of like self-reflection, self-care, and doing stuff that I enjoy has helped me overcome that. I think in the past 2 weeks I felt a lot of it.
Yeah.
Of being emotionally burnt out, like not being able to manage my emotions, and it's actually just sitting with it and realizing what's affecting it. And for me, self-reflection has become like a second nature thing for me to do.
Yeah, I get that. And I think it's just so important to introspect and also like to fill your own cup or understand what that means for yourself in order to kind of avoid that burnout.
No, completely. Like, it's about, like you say, filling your own cup first, right?
Yeah.
Because if you can't fill up your cup, then how are you meant to give your full, authentic self to somebody else?
That's true.
Right.
I tried to make a tiny croissant
It's
for
very
you.
cute. It's very cute though.
Yeah, I get it. And there's so much going on in life, like in general, in the world, in terms of what everyone else is going through, what you personally are going through, and stuff like that. And it's hard to also sometimes compartmentalize whether it's your emotion to pick up or the next person's emotion to pick up. And I think just that self-reflection is so important in that case.
It definitely is, because when you do that self-reflection, it's like, am I responsible for this person's emotions, right?
Yes.
Am I here to fix it, or do I simply just have to accept that it's their emotions?
Yes.
They are going through this at the moment. I don't have to naturally fix it for them.
Yes.
I think I was always much of a fixer.
And that's the thing, right? With certain personality types also, you tend to either become the fixer of emotions, or you sort of notice things in others that others won't really see in themselves, and then you want to do it. And I think it comes from a good place of like, you want the best for them also. So it may come across as, okay, somebody's trying to change you or whatever it is, but I believe that if somebody's pointing out something, it's always good to reflect and say, okay, but what is happening here?
And maybe sometimes the person's just like, hey, I just need to tell you what's going on with me. I don't need you to fix it.
Yes.
I don't need you to comment on it. I don't need you to judge me. I need to tell someone what's going on in my head.
Yes, I agree.
It's not necessarily saying that there's something wrong with that person.
Yeah.
It's just like, everyone needs someone to talk to.
That's true.
At the end of the day, and I've realized a lot of us don't just listen. And sometimes you just want someone to be listen to me.
Yes.
Like, I just want you to listen. I don't need your advice. I don't need you to play pity party for me.
Yeah.
I literally just want you to listen.
Yes.
And I feel like we've lost that component in ourselves of actually just listening to someone and letting them be heard. Because when the person feels heard, they're more likely to be more vulnerable with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Or, actually be like, hey, can we talk about X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with that. And do you think like feeling heard is as important as feeling seen? Or do you think it's the same concept?
I think for me it's the same concept, like feeling heard, feeling seen, feeling chosen by someone. It's a similar concept, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because how can you feel heard and seen without each other?
That's true. And it's not only, for example, like in a relationship. It could be in a parentship, in a colleagueship. in a friendship, in anything.
It's in any relationship, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as a manager, you need to hear like what's going on with your team, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't know. It's everyone has a story,
Yes.
right? And the only way you know about their story is actually being present, being heard, listening to them, letting them feel seen, because they're not going to be vulnerable otherwise.
Yeah. And also like having the empathy to do that, which is also so important.
And I feel like if you take the time just to be vulnerable yourself, and to give them that space to be vulnerable as well, you tend to learn a lot about people. Like, you'd be surprised how many people are actually going through a struggle, and it may explain why they are the way they are at work.
That's true.
And I think that's the biggest thing, is we don't take the time to learn about other people.
That's very true. And I've also seen like increasingly that sometimes people tend to be less vulnerable because they're afraid of what others may think, or how it may be seen, or whatever that may be. And I think because everyone's going through a lot, it's just important to also be vulnerable so that you can encourage those conversations with your friends, with your family, at work, and just all around you.
Completely. And for me, I think it's something that we all need to work on, because I think people are very scared to be judged
Yeah.
by what they're going to say, or they're going to take it the wrong way. And it's actually just, for me, being curious. Like, if someone comes to talk to you, for example, about burnout, okay, but what's making you feel burnt
Yeah.
out? Not, oh, but you don't do a lot of work, or
Yes.
how can you be burnt out? You have so much of time on your hand because you don't have kids, or
Yes.
whatever it is, It's actually just taking the time and being curious and asking the questions of like, hey, why do you feel burned out?
Yeah.
What's going on? Like, do you have like family stress, or do you feel like you've just got too much going on, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
It's actually just being mindful about those things and being more curious than judgmental, or being like, but I have an opinion on
Yes.
this. And I think that's what we lack in all our relationships. And I think if you don't start it and try to practice it all the time, it's very difficult to actually get people to do it.
I'm fully aligned with that. And I think in order to like encourage it, you yourself have to be vulnerable, put it out there, start the conversation with your friends, with your family members. Like, I saw this one YouTuber that I follow, and there was a video where she had done a Diwali dinner. And at the Diwali dinner, instead of like just having a normal conversation, they sparked conversation of like, tell me one thing. They went around the table like, tell me one thing that's stressing you out, or one thing that has been on your mind lately. And that's how the conversation flowed on the table. So yeah, having those conversations is quite important.
It's just to get people talking.
Yeah.
To make them feel comfortable enough to be like, okay, this is happening. They're not going to judge me for what I say. And I think a lot of what we've grown up with, like with social media and things like that, people are judgy.
Yeah. And that goes to the point of like also the psychological safety and making others feel safe around you, which is as equally important as being vulnerable. So if somebody is vulnerable, you need to make your best effort to make them feel safe enough to speak what's on their mind and not judge them before.
Completely agree with you on that one. And it's very difficult too.
It is. It really is.